they took away my sermon too. Okay, come on, where's my sermon at? I know I had this. Where's my sermon? Okay, they took away my sermon. Maybe it's here, maybe. Okay, thank you. Okay, it was up here. Okay, excuse me. Today, what I've been impressed while I was singing about this church. I'm going to say it because it just is. We know that Spirit and Christ and spiritualism is a study of the Spirit of God. It's a science, philosophy, and religion. It's the breath of man that God himself and our founders spoke to us as the breath of life. The creation was formed in a mindless form with God, Jesus, and the angels and the universe. Science, philosophy, and religion. He breathed it into man existence, an energy source, an energy form. And God and Jesus tried to teach us this secret. And you say, how? In the scriptures it says, I do all these things through the Father, which is in me. And he was there prior. The Spirit within the God whom he made us. And he says that in Corinthians 1 through 14. I can do these things more, even more better. You can, like I. So he's given us a secret of life. And he's telling us, not are you going to be the same person when you identify this. As a child, you're born a baby. And then as a mature person, you start getting older and older and older. We change. We change so much. We have to change with energy. The spark of life can only breathe into the man's existence just by hello with a thought. And then it lights the world on fire, and then you create constantly. So imagine God saying, welcome. And he sparked the creation, and in 7 days he created the earth and the heavens, and he created man and existence. What he's doing with you when he sparks that living life into you, the light of God, even though you're not going to be the same person, you're not going to be that same person when you accept the light of Christ within you, are you? Never. You're going to involve. You're going to involve, just like what it says, our 7 precepts, and also the involvement of Christ. This beautiful music that we have is also given to me. A lot of people don't like the fact about Christ as on the crucifix. Some people do like it, some people don't. They don't want to have something to do with spiritualism. It's all a choice of the matter, but I will say to you, it's the prisoner of the mind of what you think of it. Because a pure spiritualist is a science, philosophy, religion to oneself. You create it. I'm not telling you what to create in your mind. You're not going to tell me what to create in my mind. I'm not going to tell you what you have to create in your mind. It's an internal thing. Then we philosophize what we just did here in this chapel of his ideas were not the same as mine, but he shared it. And he allowed it, and we allowed him to share it. We didn't take his pickings of his beliefs. We accepted it for the truth of what he came because he's a spiritualist. And when we say to these words about Jesus dying on the cross, a lot of spiritualists says, well, we're going to change the way we do our music because we have to set forth that we don't believe in it. Wait a minute. Who says that you may not believe in it, but a father or a brother or sister may still believe in it? And by the way, what you do not believe is your own prisoners and what you make it in your own mind. You're the one that can't handle the Jesus aspect of dying on the cross because you put that what he means to you in your own mind and your own energy. Not because this other individual thinks that way. He might allow it just to be allowed. Because your own prison is your own mind. It's your way of thinking. That's where you don't create the ideas where you get stuck in the mud. You prison yourself with your own thoughts. That spark of life that God created to you says, I do these things and more for you, is what he's trying to teach you is every day you evolve. Don't get stuck in the rut where I can say that I can't listen to that music, and a lot of spiritualist people say they don't want to hear it because of the blood of Christ, because they don't believe atonement. It's their own prisons that they're making. The words are just words. It's here when you start thinking different thoughts. You created your own. You're evolving in so many different directions. And I'm not saying it's right or it's wrong. I'm not going from that angle. I'm just bringing in what we involved in with that spark of life that we constantly have to involve. But we make our own prisons. They're just words. They're just facts. Consciousness or unconsciousness. The life is the God's creation, the heaven, the earth, and the unseen and the is constantly evolving in this universe. We are the universe. We're connected to every being. We're finding more and more with Tesla, and we're finding more and more that we are created through him, and we're attached to everything. They're finding that the universe is in ourselves. Particles of the universe are us. They're finding out that we all have DNA strands that we're connected to one another. God's source is people what to think of verse is constantly evolving. Every vibration, every frequency. And I would also hear that Tesla also scientifically, if you can say it this way, Tesla's experiments is he found out that if you want to understand the universe, you got to think in the terms of attunements, of frequency, and of vibration. It's not what we think. And what is a vibration? And what is a thought? A thought is a vibration. It's an energy source you created. And that's what he says, a spark of life. He gave us the secret, and that's what I came to you when we first came out. The secret of a breath of life is that thought of energy. It's a frequency. It's a vibration. And we all know that we're born with a musical note. I'm a G. He may be an A. You may be an F. You may be a C or a D, whatever the musical note is. And the color. But we all are grouped together. There's no indifferences of a rainbow. There's no indifferences of each other. When I always say to you, we raise each other in the light of Christ. We're all light bearers and we have responsibilities. As a light bearer, I mean that. Because now that you know it, that spark came to you, like I was talking about prior, the 7 precepts to the 9 principles. I'm telling you, I like the resonates in me. I have involved, not that the 9 principles were really bad, but at the time they were right for me. But I involved to a higher conscious level for me that resonates better inside me, the 7 precepts. I involved that I no longer was. I can't be like a child. It has to grow and evolve. Can you imagine if you did not? Can you imagine babies walking around if we didn't evolve? We have to evolve every time you come 90. Marty, you weren't that way 10 years ago. Your thought patterns were the same. Not 10 years ago, you were different. I noticed that the more I mature, the more I forgive. Because I'm maturing. I'm involving the energy source. People are coming into my life. I'm allowing to say, hey, beautiful people like Mary Wondergem, a 92-year-old lady that says, life. I say, Mary, what's the secret of life? Just get up every morning and just go with the flow. I think about that. That's that spark of life that I was talking about. Just allowing. If you got negative coming your way, cast it out. I don't want to deal with it. You have the power. You're creating. I do to my friends if I don't want to hear something negative sometimes now. Yeah, I know. I'm being kind. I know. But I really don't want to talk about it right now. I'll change the subject or go out of the way. And you understand? It's not my monkey. It's not my circus. There's certain things that we can do that we get involved on. It's totally up to you. Our spiritual laws is a spiritual vibration. And we're receiving these from the angels. Everything changes. I can't imagine me being up here at 5. God's law is not broken. It can't be changed, by the way. He's telling you the only thing that he can't change it, you can't change it, because why you can't change it is that spark of life that he gave you is evolving. There's no way you can stop it. It can't be broken because it's constantly evolving. He's constantly evolving in you. The light source, the universe is in you. And it says, you ever hear it? The law cannot, and it says it in our precepts of truth. The divine law is just and good. It cannot be broken. It cannot be changed. God's laws can't be changed, can they, in the Bible and the scriptures? We can't change it. It's there. He says this is the way it is. It's going to be that way because I made it so. He is the creator of all source. But when he says these things, He's involving like we're involving. You say, how, hey, can God involve? He's already perfect. Wait a minute. He says we do these things through you and even grander, and he was born a man for a reason. He showed us the way. He involved. He had to involve too. So God did involve. Jesus involved. And so can you. He's showing us that we're involving all the time. Now, we learn things as a repeat pattern for a reason, like a baby. A baby will take a pacifier and put it in its mouth to taste it, and then look at it and rattle it and bound his head quite a few times to learn what it is. We too, even as adults, you'll say, why do I get myself in this mess when I should know better? Sorry, you're not going to know better until you figure it out, and it's going to be repeated to you so you can evolve to figure it out, and then it moves away. Have you noticed that? But you go through it several times, bumping your heads until you figure it out. The same thing. You didn't involve yet. It's okay to get your head bumped because, thank goodness, you did learn it though eventually, and you let go of it, you involved. The natural laws of God's natural laws are specific principles derived from nature and binding out in society that works constantly, and there's an order among them. Has to be. It's like, can you imagine if the vibration, if it didn't have an order of specific frequency or vibration, it would be running amok. God already knew when he was doing this, what he was creating. Levels. Growing up levels. Young. Middle life. You get married. You grow old and then you die. Same thing. You have to have an order of some form. But that's involving. Each frequency that you get is a higher pitch. And the higher dimension that you are in the light bearing. So you learn. There's more. That's when you say, well, man, you ever notice when you're a kid you think the older people have wisdom, and they do. Why do you think so? Because they lived it. They evolved to a higher super consciousness level. And that's how I see it. Everything that we do is a balance, and it demands certain things, an action or a reaction. What cause and effect we put out. The law of vibration. The law of vibration affects everything we do. And everything is constant state of vibration. It's constantly changing. It's isolating. Constantly. And we are too. We're light bearers. Whether we can see it or not, we know that it is existing. We range from this vibration to this vibration. We're positively putting something out, like cause and effect. We're finding out that what affects each other could affect some, but we might not learn it until we learn it. It's just, I go back to that song aspect, because I bring that song aspect because I hear a lot of spiritual people saying, they ask me what kind of music I play. And the reason why I brought that up is some of my spiritual friends. I say, I still have the old hymns and the blood of Christ. I said, it's the prison of your mind that you created. Either just words. It's what you do with those words that you put it here. If you have attachment to that, that's attachment. That's just words. Or you don't have to have it, because not because I believe it, but my brothers and my sisters next door to me may not believe it yet. And why can't I just allow that to be that way until they hit to that level? Eckhart Tolle is the best teacher I've ever had, and everybody's never heard of him. It's called The New Planet. He allows people to be themselves. It's just like spiritualism. Science, philosophy, religion to an individual. That's a pure spiritualist. It's just entrapment, if you think of that, about why you have a dogma attached to that blood of Christ. That X on our oracle represents the authentic teachings of Jesus the Christ. And is he not in this Bible? And what does it say about him in the Bible? Even though I'm a science, philosophy, religion, and spiritualism, why can't I still believe in Jesus Christ's teachings? I can, because that's my belief. Or why can't my other brother and sister not believe it? That's okay too. When we start getting caught in the dogma of I can't do this, I can do this, or I can't do that, that's when we imprison our minds. By allowing it just it's words. I'm not going to put entrapment of the blood of Christ, of Jesus Christ's atonements. What I choose to believe is my business. It's my belief. science, philosophy, and religion. They may want to share it, they may not. But when I trap my mind where I can't do something, I'm not allowing somebody else to grow yet. I'm going to let somebody take that music and just say, hey, it is what it is. It's just words. Let you form your own opinion on it. That's a true spiritualism. That's pure spiritualism. Okay? And that's what I wanted to talk about today, the energies of our constant vibration of how we constantly do something. Let's not try not to put a dogma on something that we believe. Let us rather instead think of our brothers and sisters that they may not be on my level yet. And if that's okay, that's blessings be. I may not be on their level yet. I may be lower and they may be higher. How do I know? Blessings be. All I can tell you is that I'm proud of this church is that we allow each other to have our own beliefs, our own science, philosophy, and religion of what we are attaining on your level. And I'm allowing you as such. My job is just to set the program to you so you, as being good spiritualists, can come up here and share your philosophies. Share what you believe in. So be it in the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. That's our service for today. Now, this is the other portion.